This is a Headgum podcast.
Well. Rochelle says the clapping helps. So we had to clap before we started this because this is one of the Mazda episodes. This is an episode of Gossip Kings sponsored by Mazda because we are on Zoom. Hey, Zoom.
In again, but this time the Zoom is gonna be even better because it's just like somebody really cool in the Zoom with us.
Yeah.
I don't even want to give it away. Almost don't even want to introduce her because I feel like
you know what? Don't even do the pod. Don't even do the pod because we can't. It's too big of a guest. You just get off.
It's too big. Let's do it. Let's just log off right now.
Let's just log off. There's no pod today because this guest is too big. However, what I will say is before we get into the guest, we will explain to you. Let me explain. I want to explain to the listener why we're on Zoom. Because our guest had to Zoom in, and we realized when we tried to do the with Nagin, us being in the studio and them being on Zoom is a different energy. So we all should just be on Zoom.
Yeah. It's like you can't have Zoom, have real life.
Yeah.
You know, just like life in general. Like you're either gonna be in or you're out. You know.
Just like life in general. You're absolutely correct. Our guest today is comedian, legend, author, poet laureate, Jamie Loftus.
Hi.
Ring the bells.
Loftus,
ringing.
Put them bells ringing. We've been trying to get her on the show for 3 years. I said, we saw her at the Headgum show. I said, backstage, I said, "You like Gossip Girl?" And she said, "What'd you say?"
What did I say? I think I probably said
said yes.
Yeah.
I thought you said yes. And I came back to the office and I was like, guess who loves Gossip Girl? Jamie Loftus. We got to get her on the show. And that was a year ago. Here we are. Here we are.
Was that a year ago? That's so scary.
Yeah. No, I don't know when that was. It wasn't a year.
It was a long time ago.
It was a while ago, for sure.
What's your relationship with Gossip Girl, Jamie?
So
I know we just talked about it.
I was there for the beginning. I was there for, I remember specifically when I stopped watching because I was like, because this started coming out, when did it start? Like 2007?
8, yeah, 2000, late 2007, and right into the Obama election. Like we actually saw the Obama election change within the first season. It was wild.
Oh
like you could feel it. I mean, it's not like they talked about it, but you could feel like the energy of our country was different. Like something happened, like something big happened. It's crazy.
That's so wild because my CW show was Gilmore Girls, and that ended like as the Obama campaign for the '08 election was starting, and I think that it ends with like Rory Gilmore being like, "I'm gonna go work for the Obama campaign," and that's where they like left that show.
Oh wow!
And then I remember I started watching Gossip Girl, but it's wild because the one we're covering, I never got this far, so I was desperately trying to understand what had happened. I stopped watching at the Hillary Duff arc, which is what, season 3.
Olivia.
Yeah, damn, that feels like. Remember Hillary Duff? I know. Remember Hillary Duff? Hillary Duff was my girl.
The Hillary Duff arc.
Now here we are thinking, I'm all like, yo, Dan and Blair. I'm like, what about Hillary though? Where'd she go?
Yeah.
Well, that was the thing. It was like I watched Gossip Girl up until I went to college, and then I stopped. And so there was like I was into it. I was like watching it with everybody else, and then I was like, I'm an adult now. I can't know what happened. So like my last strong memories are the Hillary Duff arc because that was very impactful to me. Her scarves, her karaoke, like it was just so good. So I never made it like to season 4 or much less this deep into season 4. And so this was like a real jigsaw puzzle. It was really wild.
This is I don't think we ever had anyone who's like halfway watched the show and like it's either like they've watched it all and they haven't watched any of it. So this is like like you have familiarity with the characters, but you don't know who Russell Thorpe is. You're like, who's this black man?
I did not know who Russell Thorpe was. I was desperately trying to figure out what the election is for. Like, what are they? Is it like, what is the party for?
Oh, I'll tell you. We're gonna get into it.
Okay,
we're gonna get into it.
I have so many questions. I know who everyone is, but
let's do some spotters though. I got some spotters. Do you have
Okay.
a do we have a spotted car? Okay,
I
so
don't have one. I don't think so.
this is what happened.
I have to remember my spot. You forgot what
I no, so I text y'all. This was so stupid. So remember we went to that party on Friday?
Yeah.
So I wish I would have just talked to you because you were in the same area. But I was like, instead of telling you the spotted, I text the group chat. I was like, I got a spotted. And the key word is yellow. And remind me today. And the reason why it was yellow because I thought I had saw the girl from Yellowstone, the one that plays Beth, the redhead, but it was not her. Because then I like went back and then saw she was hanging out with my friends, and I was like, oh wait, that's not her. So I was like, this is not a spotted. But then I was walking. I've been having a lot of false spotteds lately. Like I was walking down a golf course, and I swear I saw Kid Cudi playing golf. I swear it was him, but not entirely sure. I went back to go see if he was there, but. So I don't have a spotted, but I do got a user spotted. If you don't have any, Carl,
I don't have any. Jamie, do you have a spotted? Have you seen anybody? You in Portland right now? You said.
Yeah, I haven't really seen anybody recently, but I was.
Have you seen
any Proud Boys rallying?
There.
Any Proud Boys or Trailblazers?
Look, if it's gonna be anywhere, it's gonna be on this actual block. So I'll report back. Maybe when the sun goes down. But my most recent there right before I left for this tour, I was walking around Silver Lake and remembering one of my favorite spotteds, which is when Red Foo from LMFAO almost hit me with his Tesla once.
Oh wow, that's a wild spotted. He spotted you.
He just in time. He spotted.
Yeah, he spotted you and decided to kill you.
He was driving a white Tesla. Like he just like wasn't ready for a pedestrian. And I wouldn't say he was apologetic, but he wasn't like, laughing that he had almost hit a person. But it was, I had the right of way. I was just
he wasn't like doing
so
an evil laugh.
It's just crazy that Red Foo is like around.
Wait, so what are these guys' names?
Red Foo? I had to look him up because I was like, I think one of the guys from LMFAO just like almost hit me with a Tesla, and I looked it up. I was like, it was Red Foo.
That's so funny. Can you imagine me calling 911? Like, the guy from LMFAO, excuse me, who did this? The guy from LMFAO.
Red Foo. I don't know what his government name is. Like
Redford Fooington.
So what's the other guy's name called?
Red Foo and Sky Blue.
Do you guys know LMFAO's uncle or nephew duo?
Is it
uncle and nephew duo?
Yeah.
So it's like
Red
an uncle
Foo's
and their nephew.
Yeah. Their uncle and nephew. And guess who the uncle's dad is?
Oh, I don't know.
Music mogul Berry Gordy.
Oh.
Yeah.
That makes me want to laugh my ass off.
But does it make you want to laugh your fucking ass off?
Not really. What happened to those guys? All right, check out this spotted.
Around.
So that's a good spotted, Jamie. And I think I'm glad you had. I'm glad you're okay. Didn't hit you.
I mean, it would have been a good settlement for me, I bet, if he had actually hit me.
Would you sue it? Would you want it to be the person to sue Red Foo?
Yeah, I think like getting on the turn down for what money? Like that's yeah.
Every time turn down for what plays, you'll get paid for it. That would be
exactly.
Cool. All right, spotty yada yada, spotty yada 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 yada. Okay, I live in London, and I was driving down the street when I had to stop for someone stepping onto the road. Very similar to Jamie's spotted. Turns out it was none other than Emilia Clarke from Game of Thrones. Also, she is on the bus stop ads for a skincare brand around London, and there's a bunch on the street. I saw her and her boyfriend spotted. I saw her on, and my boyfriend spotted her walking past her own face on a butt. So I have trouble reading out loud, but basically her boyfriend also saw Emily Clarke walking by one of her own face cream ads. Yeah. Carl, do you know who this is? This is Daenerys Targaryen, the queen from Game of Thrones
with the white hair.
White hair queen. Yeah, so that's huge. Bus stop ads. She on bus stop ads, and she was also our fan almost hit her with her car.
Wow,
which is a beautiful thing. Beautiful spotted.
That's good.
Yeah. Hopefully I can bring you some more international spotteds. Love the show. So that's our first international spotted. Rochelle, give us a humdinger bell for that.
We'll say spotted. Spotted. All right.
We did that well. How come we doing the clap well?
We didn't do that. It wasn't well on my side.
It sounded good over here. It sounded like directly on beat where I'm at.
It wasn't on beat. That shit was off beat.
Well, I love Emilia Clarke. I'm a huge Game of Thrones fan. So shout out to Daenerys. I hope she's all right. I'm glad she's doing well. You know, it didn't end so well for her on Game of Thrones, but we'll see. Hope she's doing well now.
I do have technically a little bit of a spotted, but I don't know who the person is. And I was alerted about the person. And I think
alert.
Yeah, somebody told me that this was her. And I don't know who she is, but I think this may be a invasion of privacy. I don't know. It's not, I guess. She was in public. But I'm probably going to see her a lot more often. So a guy that plays on my baseball team is an actor. His name's Dylan. And I think he is dating this girl named Victoria Pedretti from You.
Whoa. And Gossip Girl connection.
Is she? Oh, don't tell me. Because of Dan. Yeah. But she was at our baseball game.
Like she was watching?
Yeah. But she'll probably be there every week.
All right, I'm gonna pull up and see. Y'all be having fans in the audience?
Yeah, you can come to the game.
Man, y'all like really out here playing, huh?
Yeah, real baseball.
I thought y'all were just bullshitting.
No, we ain't bullshitting. We getting it in.
Goofing around on a Sunday.
Yeah.
Nah, I can't. I got church.
It ain't. Some games are on Saturday.
I like when things that you don't think would have groupies do have groupies. Like, that's a very nice thing. I was like doing I did like a public radio interview last week, and they had groupies they had like old groupies that came to the public library to watch them. And they were like,
that's cool.
We love Jim and Marjorie. Like, it was.
That's awesome. Actually, I feel like I would like to go to something like that. You got to let me know next time.
Niche groupies. That's cool that Victoria Pedretti is a baseball groupie.
Yeah. What's popping in Portland? Have you eaten chicken wings at that spot? There's a chicken wing spot. It's a market. It's like a little corner store, and they got good chicken wings. I want to say it's called Joe's Market, but I could be lying about that.
Okay.
Joe's Market.
I just got here, but I my first stop here is usually this place called Kim Jong Grillin', which is like this Korean hot dog place.
Yeah.
And it's so good. I love it so much. So I'm going to go there for dinner tonight. Nice. But I'll take any recommendations. I feel like I usually go to the same 3 places every time I'm here.
Fire on the Mountain wings.
Ooh, okay.
And Pine State biscuits is where we got to hit Pine State every time we go.
I've had Pine State, yeah.
We take the pilgrimage.
I went to this spot called Canard last time. It was really good. It's like a pothead. It's like the way he described it was like it's like a combination of French food and pothead food, but it was really good. Ooh. Yeah, you might like that. I definitely recommend that. But Portland is like the new food spot of the world. It's crazy.
It's weird. Yeah, I feel like when I started coming out here, it was like not that way. But in the last like 5 years, I feel like there's always a shit ton of stuff to eat.
Yeah.
People got to eat in Portland.
They got to. There's more of them.
PGEIP. People got to eat in Portland. Just so y'all know. And secondly, we'll be right back after we go get something to eat after these messages. Back after the break. We have some fact checking to do. I just said there was no food in this episode, and I was wrong because I looked at my notes, and Serena got pizza from Joe's Pizza.
Yeah,
not to be confused with the Joe's Market where the wings are in Portland. That name.
Don't confuse for you Portlanders. Yeah, that was an awkward scene, man.
Oh, that was awkward. But Joe's Pizza is also located on. There's a Hollywood Boulevard Joe's Pizza. There's also a Sunset Boulevard Joe's Pizza.
Oh, wow.
And New York.
Do you think that was the same Joe's? Or
I think so.
Is it just a lot of Joe's?
I think it's the same as the New York one, and I think it's because New York people aren't assholes about it. Like when we will walk when the New York homies will walk from Second City or whatever, we would go down the street to Joe's. They'd be like, "It was actually a good slice."
Oh, so when they would actually eat our joke, the LA one, they would actually like it. And then what was the other one she said? Serena said she was like, people really like this one, but I prefer Joe's. Do you remember what it was called? John. So
John's.
I wonder if have you ever been in New York, Jamie? I guess you were just
Yeah.
Jamie, have you ever been to New York?
I have. I've never been to John's though. Is that like I mean, I'm assuming I feel like they're almost always referencing actual places, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've been to Joe's in New York.
I wonder
if it's good. That pizza did look good though. I was so mad when she was like, "I'm lactose intolerant."
Cynthia
is like I don't think I know who Cynthia is, but I know that I hate her. And
Yeah, she had a big humdinger of an episode. We're going to get into it. We're going to start from the beginning. Let's start from the beginning. All right. Ooh-wee. Ooh-wee, ooh-wee, ooh-wee. Lily is about to go to jail.
Yeah. They get locked up. They won't let me out. Locked up.
They won't let me out. They're not letting her out of jail. She's going to jail. Period.
I was confused as shit too. I was like, what the fuck is going on? I thought I had missed, I thought I skipped an episode, but
what is she supposed to be going to jail for?
Perjury.
They don't update. Okay, it's like they don't update you episode to episode, and I was like, what did she do?
This one started off weird.
Because I was confused because it was like it was a cool little we're gonna show the ending first.
Yeah,
it was like we'll show the ending first, and then we going backwards.
Because Rome wasn't built in a day.
Yeah, I thought that was a clever little trick. I got some.
If I had
Stephanie Savage.
If I had wrote this episode, I would have had Rufus say like he was in like a black teen party movie, and as soon as they walk her up to jail, it freezes, and he goes, "I guess you're wondering how I got here. Let's start from the beginning."
If I would have wrote this scene, I would have had Rufus be like, "Just so you know, I'm not going to wait for you."
Just so you know, if you locked up, I'm getting remarried immediately.
Yeah. I've had enough of this.
I've had enough of this life. So you're going to jail. Nate and Queen Raina, they kind of getting it in, but they ain't got it fully in yet. They keep keying, but she always over his house, and Chuck still don't know, which is whack. Chuck,
Nate's a snake. He's a big snake.
Nate is a big old snake.
He's the world's most boring snake.
Yeah.
I know he's so bored. It's weird to watch when women fall for him on camera because it's like he's so attractive, but he's so boring. I'm like, what are they seeing this person?
It's just like a sentient Hollister bag. It's like nothing.
Yeah, nothing's going on. Hey, what's happening? Hey, what's going on?
I would like to see more of you.
You want to watch the game? We should watch the game later at the Bucks.
Yeah. So Vanessa been trying to call Serena, but she ain't answering Vanessa's calls, and rightfully so. Vanessa's a crazy person, but Ben ain't been answering Serena's calls, and Blair's acting all weird. She got something up her sleeve. Dorotha's like, you feel content. I don't know what's going on.
Yeah, why you so happy? What you been doing? Yeah, something's off about that one.
And also, yeah, she's great. Dorotha's great, and you can tell the whole time she knows. Man, I think Dorota is her real mom. I don't think Eleanor gave birth to Blair.
I love that. I also love because I feel like there's understandably a lot of heat on how Dorota's written, but I'm like, if I worked for a super wealthy family and I was just hanging out around this really wealthy teenager, I would also be very petty about what their interpersonal drama is. Because why?
I know
not?
it's like what else is there to do?
Wait, was there drama about how Dorota was written?
I feel like there's I think at the time, if I'm remembering correctly, there was people on the message boards, because I was into it when I was into it, of Dorota doesn't get to do anything except react to Blair, and all she gets to do is do these reaction shots. We should let Dorota do more stuff. But when Dorota is on, I think she's the best. I'm now I'm probably closer to Dorota's age than Blair. I'm yeah, I guess if I found out that my teenage charge was hanging out with another teenager, I too would gasp.
Yeah.
She was like, Dan Humphrey. She was about to blow a gasket. She was like, this is crazy.
Yeah.
The fact that she knows so much about about Blair's life, that knows why that is a thing. It's this is a big deal.
Yeah.
So Chuck goes to Russell Thorpe's office, not to gloat, but to invite him and Raina to the party, because here's what the party was for. The party was because Chuck, the deal is about to close on Bass Industries the next day.
Yeah, this is like Succession, like level. Like he's been fighting for this company all season.
Yeah.
Okay.
And it's about to close.
Sense.
But he ain't won yet, because Russell Thorpe is like, hold on now, I got something up my sleeve. Because remember, at the end of the last episode, Damien showed up and gave Russell Thorpe the info, which was another confusing thing. But we'll get to that too. I gotta talk to you about that. At the end of the last episode, Damien Delgard is.
Do you know Damien?
I think so. Yeah. Wait, describe him.
He's
a trash bag.
He looks like a hobbit.
Oh, I think I.
He's like a drug dealer. He's the drug dealer that corrupted Lil J.
Yes.
I'm so glad he wasn't in this episode.
He wasn't, but it was confusing. So I definitely it was very confusing why he wasn't in this episode. We'll talk about that. But Russell tells him, like, don't gloat because the sale ain't over yet because I got something up my sleeve. Chuck recognizes it. He's like, oh, this dude's got something up his sleeve. And then he's also like, also, my daughter's been hanging out a lot with your friend Nate. Something else that looks like you don't know.
It's like, I know you got, what if he would have said, you know, you got snaked by your own man.
Snake Archibald, the most boring snake in the world.
It's so wild. Go ahead, JB.
That was just like an insane way to be introduced to Russell. Was like him in that scene being like, all right, Chuck, you think you know something? Well, you don't know anything. You'll never guess who my daughter's maybe making out with.
Yeah.
Like
it is weird how like he's like way too into his daughter's personal life. he's like, oh, and she got Nate now. He should fucking all the hot white dudes in Manhattan. This shit is crazy.
Yeah, she's a milkmaid. Where we at?
she.
So Dan and Blair chilling, making plans, but
she got that milk in her.
Yeah,
but yeah, you know. But I feel her. I mean, what you got? Those are top bachelors in New York.
Yeah. Nate and Chuck, and they know each other. They're best friends. She has no choice. There's no more men in New York. There's no more men.
But also, it's like you gotta feel for Raina because they're both the fucking worst. Like they're the worst.
She the one that likes him, so she must be pretty bad herself.
It does seem like she really likes Nate, right? I mean, like that's what it seems like.
It seems like that feels like a better connection than her and Chuck had. I think. I don't know. It's hard to say. Like, I don't know. I can't talk about this. Because I might spoil something. But yeah, I think, yeah, I can't talk about this. All right.
Yeah, don't say nothing.
Ah!
We'll talk about it later. We'll talk about it when we get to it. We'll talk about when we wrap this series and shoot ourselves.
Yeah. What if we just record the last episode on top of the Empire State Building?
Yeah.
And then we just fall to our death as Carl finds out who Gossip Girl is.
Gossip Girl is, and somebody comes and pushes me off the building.
Yeah. No. You bounce off the ground like the Matrix.
Yeah.
You scream your theory that's wrong just before you hit the ground. You're like, wow.
It's the rotor.
And when I hit the ground, it bounced back up and and come back. Like, Kristen Bell is standing over me and she goes, "You were Gossip Girl the whole time."
It's like XOXO in your email chain. That's where it all started. What if this whole thing started from your email chain? And you were been Gossip Girl this whole time, and it's like this whole thing's a prank on me finding out that you're Gossip.
You know I was Gossip Girl, right?
I did love how this episode I mean, it's like Gossip Girl like says a lot of nonsense, but this was a fun one where it's like Rome wasn't built in a day, but a lot can happen in a day.
And you're right, Gossip Girl.
Oh yeah, she was in her bag. She said something at the end that I can't believe Kristen Stewart or Kristen Bell was just doing this. I wonder, like,
best job in the world.
Yeah, like, I wonder how much she was making. Like, she must have been like bought. Like, you know how you have those friends who like done a commercial and they're just making money. Oh, like SAG minimum. SAG minimum. She make $100.
Famous yet, right? Or was she famous then? Or I guess she was already Veronica Mars.
Yeah, she was Veronica Mars.
I don't know. Oh, was she?
So I think that was before Gossip Girl.
Oh, so interesting. So she was just doing that to get a little check on the side. I should have to talk to her about that. That's really interesting. All right, so then, okay, so Russell Thorpe is in his bag, but I guess he got something up his sleeve. Like
He got something up his sleeve.
he, and then we got like Lily. Somebody mailed her a jumpsuit, like a prison jumpsuit.
Oh, we ain't got there yet. We gotta do two more things before we get there.
Okay, let's get to that one.
We skipping over it. So we got the Dan and Blair thing. They chilling at the house. That's when Dorota finds the magazine. We talked about that. But Serena shows up to the loft because Ben ain't been answering the calls, and Ben's mom is up in there. And Serena's like, "Oh, hi, pleasure to meet you." And she's like, "I wish I could say the same, you fucking bitch."
She was like, "I don't like you."
Yeah. Why
we put my son in innocent son in jail. But
Well,
she knows she knows that it wasn't Serena now, right? Or she didn't know.
She knows that it wasn't Serena, but she doesn't like Serena. I mean, listen, okay.
If my son, I don't think I would want my son around any of these people, even if like it just doesn't feel smart. Like even when they were, I know we're skipping, but well, yeah. What happened next?
Can we have an honest conversation?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
This is the perfect guest to have here for this conversation.
What could this mean?
Now, Jamie, you are a woman who loves women.
It's true.
You are. You have the Bechdel cast. Do you still have that?
Mm-hmm.
Yes. Okay. Now, here's my thing. I understand. First of all, Ben is wrong for fraternizing with that teenage girl. He liked her when he was teaching at that school.
Mm-hmm.
But do you think, could we have a talk about perhaps the kids in this lifestyle that's very, very rich? Like these kids feel like, to me, like they've been drinking wine with dinner since they were 13.
Mm-hmm.
Like they mature a lot faster and stuff. Like Serena could take a little bit of responsibility for coming on to him when she was in high school, right?
That's tricky. I don't think so. Like I don't think so, but as far as like, I don't know. Cuz I feel like Ben needs to know his role in that relationship,
100%.
which was clearly defined by his job title.
Yes.
So I feel like it's, as a teacher, if your student comes on to you, regardless of if the age gap is not huge or not, it's your responsibility to be like, no, I'm not going to hook up with my student. Like,
and he didn't.
Right.
He was flirting with the idea. You could tell that he liked that little girl when she was coming on to him. Now I'm not saying that Serena is not a victim in this situation. We've actually already had this conversation. However, the mom being mad at Serena is justified.
I do agree with that because of like what the dynamics are between the families and stuff.
It ain't just Lily. What Lily did was fucking repulsive, and she lied, and she deserves to go to jail. I hope Lily goes to jail, at least for a little. Yeah, I guess not. Maybe he needs to log out and log in. But Serena, what Lily did is repulsive, like putting that man in jail. Even though, but also, I'm also not taking away from the fact that, like, hey man, you shouldn't have been at the fucking Airbnb with this girl, even if you didn't do nothing, even if you held yourself together and all that type of stuff. The relationship was inappropriate. But
can you remind me, like, what exactly did like Lily do? Because I don't want to like misremember things and then like go off of a false remembering of this.
So here's what she did. Can you hear us again, Lamar?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So, here's what she did. When they found out, Damian Delgar snitched and told that Ben was hooking up with Serena, even though they didn't hook up. They were fraternizing. They were seen around town together, sharing books and drinking coffee and shit like that. Serena was a wild girl at that school. She was, doing drugs. She was dancing to Soulja Boy. She was,
that was the first downfall. Sign of her downfall was Soulja Boy.
That's so just like, something wasn't going right.
Yeah.
Damian Delgar liked Serena, and he was such a nerd, and Serena was like flirting with him to get him to do her homework and shit like that. And so that's why he snitched on the teacher, even though they didn't do anything. But there was a little bit of chemistry between them. Like, Serena definitely was coming on hard, being like, come sleep with me in the Airbnb. We got to get a room here. And he's like, no, we're going to get your car fixed and we getting out of here. But Damian Delgar was there eating dinner with his parents. So he went and snitched at the school. And basically Lily signed an affidavit on Serena's behalf, saying that she admitted that he assaulted her.
Which is okay. Yeah. Okay, I just wanted to make sure I was remembering that correctly.
So she did that to keep her out of trouble
because she wanted her to get back into.
Already been like in trouble at all. Her kicked out of all these schools and stuff. So she was like, oh, it was like kind of like she basically like she had no say in this. And I'm gonna put homie in jail now.
Which is all like, well, whatever. I mean, I do remember that sort of plot point, and I think like whatever in the context of this, like the punishment does not fit the crime because because he I think as a teacher behaved super inappropriately, but like did not do what he was accused of doing. It's weird writing choice though. Like I kind of wonder. I haven't looked, but like I kind of wonder how like the writers of view that now, because I feel like it sets up this weird false precedent that like women lie about stuff like this, or that felt like the underlying thing, which is how I felt like about a couple different things in this episode in a way that just was like, oh yeah, this like reminds me of like TV in high school, or like I don't know, like women's like actions and instincts are often wrong, and like that happens to Raina in this episode, it happens to Blair in this episode of like, you should have trusted me and you didn't, you dummy. And it feels like that's like a different flavor of that. I mean, but like as far as like what happens, it's like, yeah, no, if I was Ben's mom, I would not want, like, I don't believe that like Ben and Serena's connection is strong enough to like, it's not worth it. Like it's not worth it.
Yeah, it seems like
for either of them, it's not worth it.
Yeah, it's like weird. And then you're like, it's just a weird boundary thing to be like, it's like, this is the person, even if she didn't mean to, it's just like this, because of this family, you went to prison for 3 years.
And that's,
I don't know. It's like, how could you ever like have a normal relationship with this person? Yeah. That's like, a long time. Like he's a killer. Like he turned into a monster.
Right. Like that's not what happens to like someone who behaves inappropriately. Like it's just so bizarre. But I don't know, like the show is so on Serena's side, which makes sense. But it's like this, I remember this from like earlier in the show too, that like people are like, I did like that they gave Ben's mom a villain name because her name's Cynthia, but they just like make out anyone who is like acting against Serena's current desire to be like the biggest bitch in the world.
Yeah. And they made Cynthia seem she seems so like cold, and I was just like, it's like this woman lost her family, like. I mean, it's like there's no reason. She has no reason to like Serena at all. Like have any like empathy for her. But at the same time, I at least I don't know. It's just a lot. This whole series. It was strange because me and Carl, you weren't here for this part. I guess you're only here for this episode. But there was a bunch of episodes before this, before me and Carl knew what the deal was. Even I had forgot. I forgot why Ben was doing this. So like the way it's like they backwards engineered it. So like the first half of the season, it just seems like crazy. Like whoever this guy Ben is and his sister, they're like out to get her. Yeah. It has to be something so bad. And I couldn't figure. It felt like it was dragging on so long. There's no way this is gonna be worth whatever the torment they're causing. It was at
least
this family.
10 episodes.
Yeah.
At least 10 episodes.
Oh my God.
Yeah, and then so by the time we got to it, I was like, oh, that's pretty bad. It actually ended up being like, I mean, enough for I can see why he would like dedicate his life to ruining this person, because it's like, okay, you ruined my life. But it is weird that it's like a subtle theme of like this person lied on me, but she technically she didn't
in the world
lie,
of the show.
The mom did.
Yeah, in the world of the show, like Lily is like pretty fucking evil, and I don't know. Yeah, I mean, it's like, is it maybe a little weird that Cynthia is like trying to litigate the life of her adult son? Yeah.
I mean, at this point, I sympathize for her because, like,
and I'm lactose intolerant too. So I feel her on that.
Her son went to prison for 3 years. His life will never be the same. Like, that is not a good thing. It ain't for rehabilitation. Prison in this country is fucking awful. Like,
yeah,
so,
yeah. I think the saddest thing to me is that he can't. So there was a scene, Jamie, before where he's out of jail, he's fresh out, like T Grizzly.
How recently out of jail is he in this episode?
He just got out.
I think it's a couple episodes within
ago, right?
months. It's in the world of this show, it's probably within months. Like he's probably been out for like 3 months, less than 6 months for sure.
Okay. And Serena's like, "What do you want to do? You're gonna be a teacher?" And he's like, "I can't be around kids." Like,
I'm a registered sex offender.
It's like my life is ruined. Like even though he's out of jail, he's still like. But it's really good writing though. I gotta say because I did really. I now that we're talking about it, I did watch the episode feeling bad for Lily, which is weird because I shouldn't.
Same, yeah.
She did the wrong thing, but I was like, oh no, Lily can't go to jail. But I guess that's just good writing. She's the character we care about.
Yeah, like I do what the music tells me to do, and the music said,
"Yeah,
feel bad for Lily.
Yeah,
she can't go to jail."
Like that when Lily was going to jail, that's how I felt when those white ladies were going to jail. The ones from Full House, or the ones who like did that college scam. I was like, they can't go to jail.
Man, I was like, lock their asses up, lock them up.
I was like falling for like white privilege. I was like, how could those young women go to jail? They're perfect society.
How could those young 60-year-old women go to jail? Man, lock their asses up. They were cheating. Throw them under jail. Throw away the key. Lock her up. Lock her up.
Lock her up and Hillary. I was just okay.
Well, where we at
now?
Here? Okay,
where we at?
Now Lily is going through her dresses. She's like, can you see the dress? I forgot what brand she said, but she's like, can you see if that dress is in the bunch? And Vanya was like, yes, sure, Miss Lily. And then a prison jumpsuit flies up, and the thing is like, I want to wear this tonight. And somebody knows.
So good.
I was like, somebody's fucking with me, and Vanya's like, I don't know what the hell y'all talking about. I got a baby to feed. I feel like their child, like both Dorota and Vanya are working. Who is raising their baby?
Yeah, exactly.
Like, both of them are like full time working. I don't know where the baby is at. That's just hilarious. I'm glad to see Vanya though. It's good to see him.
Yeah, good to see old Vanya. Good to see you, old Vanya. It's been a couple episodes. He probably been
a minute.
Yeah, but where we at now? Where we at? Okay, so. Dan talking to Big Roof about him and Blair's secret, but he's being vague. He's like, man, I've been hanging out with this person, but I can't say I hang out with this person. And they don't. And then Dan convinces him, or Roof convinces him to like skip out on the museum.
Yeah, they hang. Yeah. Because him and Blair are supposed to kick it, right? And then but Dan this story, as much as I liked it, I'm rooting for Bland and Dare. This story was so boring to me because it was just like, but maybe that was the point of it. It was just like, what do we do? We're friends, but are we friends?
Are we friends?
But
we hate each other. Yeah.
It was real B story stuff going on.
Yeah, it felt like they were just meandering, but Roof is like, let's get some lunch. and then he's like, Roof is just like, what do you? He has no information. He's giving him no information. He's just like, all right, I'll help you, man.
I'll help you. You're my son. And then on the other side of that, Blair decides to cancel on him. So they both stand each other up, and neither of them go. It was great. I did enjoy that part. But Nate and Chuck talk about Raina. Finally. Chuck is like, I see the old Nate charm is not as rusty as the knife in my back. Like, well, listen, man, I'm sorry. She said she didn't want anything to do with you. She likes me.
Next time Carl girl chooses me over you, I'm just gonna be like, she don't like you, bro.
Don't like you right now, be like,
I'm just saying, you gotta let it go.
The rusty knife in my back. The rusty knife from Lamar in my back.
Snakes. The snakes in the grass.
But then Chuck devises a plan. Like, you know what? I can use this. Since she likes you, I feel like he got over it pretty quick. Like
he kind of did, yeah.
Yeah, he was like, all right, whatever. It's Nate. She don't like me.
At least it's he was like, Nate fine as hell. He was like, who am I kidding?
Sentient Hollister bag is hilarious. So Dan and Blair are going to announce their friendship at the party. And Blair's plan is to say, like, we're going to say Gossip Girl that there's going to be a big announcement, and then we going to announce our friendship the big announcement.
It's so weird that it's a friendship at that point. Like, I was confused about that for half the episode, where I was like, oh, they're just like, they're still at like let's announce our friendship. Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously that takes a turn later, but
I guess they just famously hate each other, and so it would be weird for them to be friends.
Yeah.
It's newsworthy.
Yeah. But they all hang out with each other. That's the part that I don't understand about this friend group is like they all be kicking it with each other.
Yeah.
But it's like y'all hate it just didn't make any sense. But whatever. It was fine. It was fun.
But it was a stupid plan though. It's like okay, we'll put it in Gossip Girl. I didn't understand her plan. Like, okay, when they announce it, we're just gonna say we're friends. Isn't that just gonna make it seem like they are
doing
up?
more? Yeah.
Right.
It's gonna definitely make it.
I guess that's the whole point of the story. Is like we're going to so much lengths to tell people we're friends that maybe there's something more here.
Yeah.
Right.
Maybe.
Gossip Girl says something like that before one of the commercial breaks where she's like, well, but sometimes the thing that you don't want to happen is actually the thing you want to happen the most.
Yeah.
And you're like, oh, whoa.
I feel like Jamie has all the Gossip Girl quotes written down.
Yeah. She memorized them all. So
It's fun to do.
Chuck tells Raina about the affidavit. She's like, no, not my dad. Not my dad. And it's like, hey, girl, your dad is a fucking billionaire. There's no good billionaire out here. Besides Steve Ballmer.
Yeah.
Shout out Steve Ballmer, owner of the LA
Yeah.
Clippers. He's a great billionaire.
She did not want to hear anything about her dad in that moment. He's like, look, your dad's a bad dude, man. Or he wasn't bad.
Deal with it.
He's just doing what he got to do. He's been double crossed.
He's been double crossed in his life, and we learn about that later too. But now, here's where the humdinging starts. All right,
Rochelle, you there? Where'd you go? I know you're out there making a sandwich.
Rochelle, make us all. What kind of sandwich you making, Rochelle? Yeah, that's you in the bathroom. You in the bathroom. I know that sound. That echo. Here we go.
Oh, that is a specific echo. Yeah.
Yeah, that's the echo of tile and stucco walls. California houses built in the 1950s. Vanessa shows up with Lily because Lily's trying to figure this shit out.
Yeah,
like,
she's like,
who's sending me
snitching
this
on
shit?
me? Because I'm not trying to go to jail. I like that Lily's just like, no, I'm not going to jail for nobody. But she really had that like somebody snitching energy. Like somebody snitching on me. And Chuck I'm about to get locked up.
This was a good Chuck. Chuck was acting his ass off in this episode too. You know,
I know he still does that Sherman Hemsley walk too.
Do you think? Now here's what I want to know. I'm glad you brought this up because I was meaning to bring it up like 2 episodes ago. He was walking with Nate and he was kind of like it looked like a limp. Yeah. It looked like how I walk every day. People always ask me, like, "Are you okay?" I go, "No, man. I just sway. I have a sway.
You sway.
I have
side to side.
I have a sway
side
when I walk.
Side to side, cha-cha slide.
But do you think that Chuck is like acting as if his leg is still injured from when he got shot?
Oh shit, Rochelle, give me those bells.
Keep their heads ringing. Boom.
Holy shit.
Wild West Side.
You don't expect that level of craft.
I know.
I mean, that would be really. That's such a deep choice, but. Possibly. I mean, I would do that. I would if I was him. I would be like. I feel like that'd be an actor thing to do. Be like, wasn't I injured? But even though no one on set cares, but he's like, I gotta remember that I was injured.
I gotta remember that I was shot in the leg. I gotta like kind of sway when I walk.
Vanessa in this episode, and I feel like a lot of episodes for Vanessa, like her entrances and exits are so funny. In this episode, where she's just like all of a sudden there, she's like, I need to talk to you, and then Serena's like, no, and she's like, all right, see you later.
Yeah, then by the elevator, she was like, she had to like wait for the elevator to come, and she's just like, all right.
I love that like Lily and Serena's conversation is starting as Vanessa's waiting for the elevator. I'm like, she's just like around. She is such a weirdo.
Because you know what confuses me about Vanessa is that she still seems fairly normal, but she's not. You know what I mean? Like, it's like she's not like she is bad just like them, but she's like, I wasn't like this before. Y'all turned me, and now I'm trying to get back in. It's like, why you want to get back in? Just go back to your mom's house.
Yeah.
If I knew nothing about Vanessa before this episode, I would be so confused as to like who she was or what. Because she just like, of anyone in this episode, she just showed up to be like plot, and then she would like leave the room.
She's like, let me tell you what I saw Ben do.
Yeah.
And also, it was like. It wasn't that. It didn't really change that much because she just said like, yeah, he. I guess she gave her the Ben beat up the captain, right? That was like the little humdinger. But Serena's not trying to hear it.
Nah, she's not. She's like, get out. She's like,
She
Mom,
sucks.
you can't believe her. She's like, we have to. She's literally telling the truth. Like,
he's like, figure this out. So then they're like, let's go get this affidavit.
Yeah,
the affidavit. Where's the affidavit?
Mom, he took the affidavit. I'm so sorry. It was supposed to be in a safe deposit box, but instead I put it in a drawer. Now you remember when I have all my affidavits in my drawers too. I should change that.
Yeah, I know. You got to get a safe deposit. Oh yeah, I went to your house and I was like, Carl, you got to put these in a safe deposit box.
All the affidavits. All the affidavits I signed committing perjury. Everybody who I put in jail.
Honestly, if I wrote this shit, I would have
shirts.
Yeah.
If I was Lily, I definitely would have like choked the shit out of Sabrina.
Yeah,
She kept the affidavit. She's like, you didn't keep it, did you? She's like, yeah, I thought. Like this is a dumb criminal.
Felt like something we should keep.
Yeah, I thought we should keep it just in case we need it to. For what? For what reason?
Yeah.
Like this. The only purpose of this thing is to show that I did something heinous.
They think Ben stole it, but they think Ben stole the shit, but he didn't do it. Because at the party, Ben shows up and snaps on Serena. And I like this part because Serena was getting in her bag. And Jamie, I can't stand when Serena getting her bag. Getting her non-accountability bag kills me.
Yeah,
she's like,
and she's like wrong so much at the time. Yeah.
Oh my God. Oh, she's wrong 90% of the time, and just gets to get away with it. But she was like, "Listen, Ben, I know what you went through was hard. I can relate." And he said, "Don't you ever tell me you can relate to what I went through. I was in prison."
I know, he was so bad. I was like, "Good." Ben does this acting thing with his cheek where he be like biting his teeth. You see that shit? Where he be getting mad and it's like bulging. Yeah, I feel like he learned that from Denzel or something.
Yeah.
That was a good scene for Ben. Like, he deserved that. I was surprised they gave it to him.
I feel like he listens to this show. I feel like
he's definitely listens to the show.
And I want to say something. This dude, I feel like the casting of this guy should have and could have been just. I know they were probably trying to find a balance of a guy who looks innocent enough, who looks like he could be a high school teacher, who flirts with his students, and he don't give me prison bad boy. Like I need somebody who can fit more in both of those roles, and I think it should have been Nate with a fake mustache on.
Now that's a bad boy.
Yeah,
but it was like,
and his hair is
like
slicked back.
every time, like when it's like he needs
a greaser hair.
Yeah.
like a cool rider, you know. But I think he's like. He says this when he talks about his life in prison. He always sounds. I don't believe him. Like he's like, I had to do some things I'm not proud of. And it's like, what? You seem all right.
Yeah. Do you agree?
I mean that I don't believe that Ben went to. It doesn't seem like Ben went to prison.
Yeah, or that he was a bad boy in prison. Like when he got the captain beat up. Like that show, but I just don't. When I look at him, I'm just like, bro, you still not tough,
right? Like he's not able to give his. I mean, in the way that it's like, I don't know. Like I would believe that Chuck would do bad stuff in prison, even though he is like a pretty boy kind of guy. But it's just like that guy can play evil, so it like, so you're like, he could figure out a way to do something really evil. But Ben, you're just like, I don't know, man. You got like flesh colored hair. Like, who's gonna like listen to you? How
skinny
would you
as
command? I doubt you could even command a high school classroom.
Yeah, exactly. They should at least put. They should have put one of them like bodysuits on him, and so now he's like just real buff when he gets out of jail. Like something's got changed, bro. He still looked like an English teacher. I highly doubt that he had, because the guys that he got to beat up the captain were like real like ne'er-do-wells, like bald head with goatees, and they're just like, oh.
What was his
exactly.
Like how did he get? He might have had to do. I don't know what he did.
Maybe he talked them through Jane Eyre or something. Maybe
maybe he be teaching them.
Yeah,
actually, low key, maybe he was teaching them like books and shit. Maybe there's another TV show with him doing that that exists.
You don't know what I had to do in prison, and it's just a cutaway to him being like, "Now, I am the contaminator."
Yeah. He's like, let me tell you guys about the portrait of Doreen, whatever.
There's a whole like stand and deliver subplot inside.
Yeah. He's like, I'll do anything for this man. He taught me everything about literature. You want me to beat up this guy? I'll beat his ass.
Oh, Captain, my Captain. So here we go. We at the party. Ben's mom walks up to Lily, and she's like, "You don't know who I am, but I know who you are." And Lily's like, "I know who you are, Mrs. Sharp, you piece of shit." And then she looks down and she goes, "Oh, my friend is here." And it's old Russell Thorpe's ass. She stole the affidavit because remember,
so she did it
when she was eating pizza. Yeah, that's a bell. That's keep the heads running. When she stole when she went back upstairs, she was like, "I can't eat this pizza. I got to shit. I have lactose intolerance. I gotta go over here. I got to shit." But she was still in the affidavit when she had the shit.
Yeah,
like,
that was slick. Like, I did not see that coming, cuz. I did not see that coming. Yeah. I really just thought she was.
Shit, you've just bought yourself time too.
Yeah, because nobody's finna come up there because they've been like, "Oh man, she got a shit." It just open the window, Mrs. Sharp.
Especially like old white lady shit. Like you ever smell the old white lady shit? It's my.
I've got a mom.
That shit smell like I have the whole. I'll show you my 5 minutes I got on this.
Yeah. Jamie can give you notes on your 5 about white lady shit.
Yeah.
I mean, if I'm lucky, it's coming for me one day. So.
I do like how Ben was like. He was like, "Mom, you're tripping about this pizza." And then he took a piece and ate it, and I was like, "Yeah, eat that shit." I just wanted to see somebody. Because it felt like Sarita did go out of her way to get like those 2 big ass pieces of pizza. I was like, "Man, that shit went to waste." That's real that shit kind of stressful to watch on TV. But okay, what happened next, Carl?
So at this point, meanwhile, back at the party.
Previously on
X-Men. So Ben's mom confronts Lily. We got the affidavit. She gave the affidavit to Russell. Russell was gonna blackmail. He was gonna do cause Chuck and Lily knew like Russell's gonna blackmail you.
Yeah.
And so they had Raina comes up to the room.
Right.
And Nate is in there. She's like, "You're not supposed to be here. We gotta go." Then that doorbell elevator rings. They all walk in. Russell Thorpe is like, "I see you didn't wear my gift that I sent you today. Orange is really your color."
I know, yeah. Russell was coming in with the hot zingers. Russell be in his bag. He never like loses character. He's always like in his shit.
He's good, but every time I see him, that's another casting thing. Because while I love that actor, I can't see him as like this like billionaire tycoon. Like he always kind of got a weird smirk, and it just makes me think of his character.
I know he does. City. He always looks like he's like, "So I'll do anything for my daughter."
He's always just like smirking a little bit. Yeah. I keep thinking of Spin City. I keep thinking of his character from Spin City. I think his name was like Michael or something.
Oh, he was in Spin City. Okay.
Yeah, that's Spin City.
I was trying to place him. Yeah.
All right, this part was tight when Chuck was like, "Yeah, do you want to get?" Yeah.
Oh yeah. So anyway,
I love some Chuck trauma.
He was like, "You need to sign. Here's the affidavit. Here you go. So you need to sign over Bass Industries to me right now." And he's like thinking. He's like,
"Yeah,
really? There shouldn't be nothing to think about right now, Chuck." He goes, "I'm not thinking. I'm waiting.
I was waiting. Big bang, humdinger. I was like, yo, yeah, he got him good. And then Raina came. I love that Raina was like, "I'll wait for him to do his little line and then come out pissed."
Wait for the code word. Wait for the code word. Like, is that really necessary?
Daddy.
Yeah, it's for good dramatic effect.
I'm gonna get him good.
Yeah. So
it is wild to think that Raina. I guess Raina does have a positive view as her dad, but it is like, I guess in our time in 2023, it's like hard to imagine him being that rich and like it didn't seem that bad what he was trying to do.
Yeah, it's like I'm trying to absorb your company.
Yeah, he's like, I got to do whatever I got to do this. But
then even he was like, Raina was like, "Really, Dad?" And he was like, "Yeah, really." And also, why are y'all happy about this? You still going to jail? Like, I'm still gonna get the company. And he's like, "No, I'm not selling you the company because Lily is gonna go to jail. She's gonna take that time on the chin. She gonna stand 10 toes down.
Yeah, my girl Lily. See that? You see what I'm saying? I'm like rooting for Lily. Meanwhile, Cynthia's like, "Get out of here, Cynthia," which is like
she never
makes
came back.
No sense. Yeah,
she never came back.
But yeah, Lily did the right thing. When she was like, "Yeah, I'm gonna hold it down. You'll keep your company." This was a great scene. I almost got teary eyed where she was like, he was like, "You saved my father's legacy. It was never your legacy. It was never his legacy. You're his legacy."
Boom.
And I was like, "Woo!"
And then Russell Thorpe was like, "Fuck all that bullshit."
And
I'm here. I'm like, I'm about to tell y'all like what's really popping because Lily going to jail, and he's like, why are you so happy? Lily going to jail, and you gonna keep the company, but this is why I'm trying to take your company. Yeah, because you date Lily. Man, ain't nobody thinking about motherfucking Lily.
Yeah,
this
you
dude.
I would do all this for Lily.
Yeah, it's so weird that like this like super like all these fucking wealthy people are. I mean, I know that Lily's super wealthy too, but you're just like, why is she like the center of the universe in this huge business transaction? It's crazy.
Yeah, exactly. So
it's all about Lily.
It's all about. It's always about.
This is crazy. So this is the humdinger of all. This is the biggest humdinger in America right now. What we're about to talk about. I don't think I'd have a humdinger in my heart that's bigger than this in this whole series.
Yeah,
this blew me away.
This blew me away too. Okay. I was shaking the metaphorical bell in bed watching this morning.
Yeah.
So basically, Russell is like, man, you know why I'm trying to take your dad company? Ain't over no goddamn Lily. I don't give a shit about Lily. The hotel fire, or the building fire that happened when your dad was alive, back in 1987? That they said or something like that?
I think so. Yeah, it was like 2 years after Back to the Future came out.
Yeah. I don't know. He said when back in the first season when Chuck was talking to his dad about this and they kind of made amends, he was like, yes, the fire thing did happen. A dude died in the fire.
Right.
I take responsibility for it.
But it was an accident.
It was an accident.
I remember that, yeah.
It was an accident, but a dude died in the fire. I take responsibility for his death. Because I guess it was like a cover-up thing. I don't fully remember how like he covered it up so he didn't get in trouble.
Yeah, they covered because it was one of his buildings, and then Dan was doing his like Pulitzer Prize winning like piece, and he found out about it, and then Dan was like, "Oh, did you know about this?" And then that Bass Daddy was like, "Yeah, this happened, but it was an accident." But it wasn't.
Oh, like, it was when Bass Daddy. It was when Dan was like following him.
Yeah,
to get the story
around.
Yeah,
meddling kids.
Meddling
kids.
I would have got away with it too if it wasn't for meddling kids.
But when that building caught on fire, he was like, "Yes, it did happen. I'm fully regretful for that dude's death." But also in that building was Russell Thorpe's wife.
Man, my head popped off.
Yeah,
I was like, "Yo!" And then Raina doesn't even know because Raina thinks mom's ran off
for another dude, which is insane.
Which is a huge lie on Russell's part. I don't know. I imagine you're me and you just found out Russell was a guy at all.
Yeah,
and then he drops this inside of the same. Because I remembered the fire, and I was like, "Whoa, this guy I just met is connected to the fire from season 1. Like it's crazy."
Yeah. So, but it's wild that basically what he's saying is that Bass Daddy killed his wife. Basically, this is why he's been doing this.
Yeah,
why this is all going down.
And this is real. It's
deal.
Insane that he waited this long. But sure.
Yeah, he's like, I'm gonna take him down. I'm gonna take his son down. He's probably been planning this out longer than Ben's been planning his shit out.
The longest game.
Yeah, the longest game. Yeah. So Lily went to turn herself in. They at the courthouse. Chuck can't handle this information, by the way. So we're going to jump around a couple scenes.
Okay, so this is the scene I want to talk about. This is why we're going back to our earlier conversation, why it's insane that Ben is hanging out with Serena. So they're all in the prosecutor's office.
Yeah.
Going over the affidavit and the confession. And while the prosecutor's in there, Lily is like, "Hey, just so you know, my daughter, she really loves you." It's like, if I was the prosecutor, I'd be like, "Is this the daughter that that you were accused of raping?" It's like the fact that this is insane. Like this case is a mistrial. I don't know what's gonna happen with Lily, but it was just like the boundaries, like the blurred lines are so blurred in that moment because it's just like, he's like, "All right, I'll think about her," but it seemed like this is the end of Ben, huh?
Yeah.
Felt like it. Felt like he walked off into the sun.
He walked, yeah. Like a blister in the sun, which was playing when they first walked to the party.
Goodbye to Ben. Goodbye to you.
And this episode is called Empire of the Sun. Empire of the S-O-N. And they were playing the blister in the sun. He walked off into the sun. He is the son, the prodigal son.
Whoa. I honestly didn't think about the music choice that hard. I always feel like there's the Gossip Girl soundtrack just reminds me of iTunes commercials where you're like,
"Shut up and let me go."
There's so many iTunes songs from that era. I feel like they were all also in Gossip Girl, but that's a more intentional pick than I gave it credit for.
Yeah. It was. They were in their bag. The musical supervisor was in their bag this episode. So Dr. Vanderwoodson comes down there and Cece done called Dr. Vanderwoodson.
Oh my God!
And
Cece always meddling from a distance.
Cece meddling from a distance. And Rufus is like, man, if you don't get your ass up out of here, you already
kill you.
Yeah. And then so now, and Cece's like, man, Cece coming down too. We all here. Yeah. And he said, I wrote this one down because I thought it was funny. He said, it's time to circle up the wagons, Rufus.
Yeah.
You don't understand?
I know that shit had me. I was like, I don't even know what the fuck that meant, but I was like, let's go.
I think what it means is like
17?
What it means, I feel like, is like for the rest of this season, there's going to be litigation, and we're going to think that Lily's going to jail, and Dr. Vanderwoodson and Cece is not going to let her go to jail.
Right. It's like, is that? Oh yeah. So he's like, he's like, it's time to get the like. That's what white people say when one of their family members is about to get locked up. They're like, time to circle the wagons.
It's time to circle the wagons.
Lock up. Get the lawyers, get the people. We going in. Like that's what Trump is doing right now. He's circling the wagons.
He's circling. Yeah, Trump has circled the wagons for sure.
Yeah.
So Russell Thorpe goes back. He said he's going back to Chicago. He stopped to see Raina. Raina's not going with him. She crying.
Yeah.
She could go to Chicago with her dad. Go to Chicago with your dad, Raina.
Yeah, it's not that far.
Yeah.
It's so like there is like this acting style across Gossip Girl that I feel like Russell's doing here, and also like Lily does it all the time, where like no matter the circumstance they're in, they always act the same. Same for Ben, where like Russell's doing the same like weird smile of like, I hope that you like, I'm so proud of you. I know you're not proud of me, and he's still smiling. I was like, this doesn't feel appropriate for this scene.
You look like your mom. You look just like your mom.
I know you look just like your mama, little girl. I know it's so funny because like Raina has no idea why he's saying that. But Raina, I will say it's so dope to see. It just makes you inspired because you're like, damn. Like, because you know Tika ended up becoming this like huge star, and you just see how she just steals the fucking show. Yeah. Like she comes in this show as like a guest star, and she becomes like just like the main, almost feels like the main character these last 3 episodes. And you're like, that's a fucking act. And it's like it just makes you think when you get on those guest stars for y'all up and coming actors out there, go in there and kill it. You never know. You never know what's gonna happen.
You never know.
Life could change. Shout out to Tika.
Because I don't know what happens after this, but I'm like, but she's gotta find out eventually about the fire, right? Like that. I hope that turns into like a full blown arc for her. That's like that is like the wildest choice to be like, actually, my wife was in that building, and I'm going to Chicago. Bye. Like
I gotta get out of here.
I have a feeling they didn't know that in season 1 though.
Oh yeah, like you think they just kind of made that shit up. Like.
Yeah, that's why Chuck was like, wait a minute, I saw the paperwork. There was no other person on that paperwork.
I know.
Why do you think the security guard was in there saving my wife?
I know. That was a good writer's room moment. It's like, what if the security guard was in there because he was saving her wife? Good job. Good job. You just saved our script season. I think this is like, I think this next few episodes are going to be great. I'm hyped. All right, we got one more thing to talk about, though.
We got a huge thing to talk about.
A big thing.
So Chuck is downstairs. Chuck morally can't handle the fact that Russell Thorpe's wife was in that building. My dad lied to me to the day he died.
Yeah.
He was such a bad guy. I was like, you know he's a bad guy, Chuck. You're a bad guy. What are you talking about? This is where the show really gets on me, where it's like, bro, y'all do bad shit all the time, and then you're so hurt by other people's bad actions.
Yeah. It's like a show full of hypocrites.
Yeah.
Hypocrite girl.
Hypocrite girl is what the show should be called. But so he's like drinking, and Serena's like, you should go upstairs and get some sleep. And he's like, get Blair. I need to talk to Blair. Yeah. And Serena's like, Blair's gone. Blair's the only person I don't understand. I need to talk to Blair.
Yeah.
All right, I'm going to Blair's. All right, I'll come with you.
They start walking. And I was like, oh, man. I was on the edge of my seat this whole last time. I was going crazy in my living room. Right here behind. Oh, you can't see. It's a portrait of Jesus behind me.
Yeah. But, I was going crazy. Right next to the Urkelbot machine in my house. So he's like, they storm out. Serena's going with him. The doorbell at Blair's house rings. The elevator. She's like, "What are you doing here?" Misdirect. Turn around. It's Dan.
Dan,
We're going
dinger.
back to the B plot.
And Dan was, I know this was dope because I like when a B plot is so boring, but then it builds to a cool crescendo.
Oh my gosh.
It was like a symphony.
It was a symphony.
Shout out to Stephanie Savage and Josh Schwartz, the greatest writers in TV television.
It was the greatest writers in TV television. Like, okay, so Dan's like, listen, maybe this is what it is. Maybe we hiding something that we don't even know we hide. We're not just hiding friendship.
Yeah. It's
so
like you could hear Gossip Girl. Like
yeah.
Yeah.
He's like, I think there's something else that we hiding here, and we need to figure it out. All I'm asking you for is one kiss to see if this is real. If we really have these feelings for each other, just one kiss. And she's like, one kiss? And he's like, one kiss. And then they waiting. And the whole time they waiting on this kiss, I'm like, please, Lord Jesus, do not let Serena and Chuck walk through this door.
I know.
Right
I kept thinking, I was so shocked. That, I was like, are they going to come in there? It was like crazy timing.
And then they kiss. Oh, my God.
Oh.
And then it freezes.
And it freezes.
And then my shirt fell off. Like, it just fell off my body. It was crazy. And I like the way they did it too, where Blair had to initiate it because it was like a throwback to the old Humphrey Blair dynamic, where she was like, "Humphrey, get in here!"
Jesus Christ, Dan Humphrey, get in here! She kissed him, and it freeze. I'm so happy that Chuck and Serena did not, because that would have ruined the whole moment for me.
Yeah,
if they had been like, "What's going on here?" It's probably that's probably gonna be how they open up the next episode. I have not. I don't watch ahead. But I'm assuming that that's how they'll open it up, where at least they won't get caught kissing, but they'll at least get caught together.
Right.
I hope they don't get caught kissing. I want this to remain a secret for longer than just one episode. I do.
Yeah.
This was such a stressful episode, and I liked that they chose to end it on like a rom-com moment versus like all of the like high family drama that was going on.
That's why it was so cool. Like they made the most annoying plot become like the thing that we were really waiting on. Yeah. It was really smart. It was kind of like it was like Bland and Blair's, like it's like the episode was doing what Dan and Blair's plan was gonna be.
Yeah.
Anyway.
It was great. Of course you keep the heads ringing right there, Rochelle. Listen. Lamar, what's your rating? Because I got some thoughts.
I give this a fucking 4.5 XOXOs.
4.5?
I thought it was great. I thought it was so many twisted turns. I was so happy that Ben is out of the show now. I think, I hope he is. I hope I don't have to see him again. I like the cameo of Lily whatever the fuck his name is, the Baldwin dude. Yeah. I like the comeback there. I like Raina and Nate, connecting over there. Both got bad daddies. They're like, I got a bad daddy too. They connecting. It was just, everything was connecting. It was like the only thing that I would knock this episode down a little is just Vanessa, like you were saying, Jamie, how she just was there to just like give this information. But it's like,
wait for the
I just feel bad for the actors. It's like, this character is part of the show. Like you can't treat a character like this. Like, she's like one of the cast members. Okay. So I'll give it a 4.5.
So that's XOXO.
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 XO.
XO. Yeah.
Jamie, what do you give it out of 5 XOXOs?
Ooh, I guess I'll go 4.5 too, because this episode, while it's like a full season and a half ahead of like where I ever got to, it was like things that I really like. A lot of things that I love about Gossip Girl were in this episode. A bunch of B characters I didn't recognize but got weirdly attached to over the course of the episode. A rich lady about to go to jail. Yeah. Us needing to be on Serena's side in spite of the fact that she's acting very, very weird and completely like detached from reality. Yes. Music telling me to hate a random woman I've never seen before. A B plot that's really silly. I just like, I don't know. This episode reminded me why this show is so fun and so confusing. Because I was like, I don't think I knew like Raina or Russell. don't think I'd ever seen Ben and definitely not Cynthia. And you're just like, by the end of the episode, you're like, I feel satisfied with where things landed. I thought it was a good one. There were a lot of twists.
There you go.
And the best part is I don't feel caught up. I still feel like probably 5,000 things happened that I will never understand.
Are you going to watch? Are you going to go back and watch? Come back.
It makes me want to go back because, like, I don't know. Like, I left at Hillary Duff because it just felt like this is my exit point. But you're like, no, this is a show for people in their 30s, actually.
I didn't like. There's
realize
so many adult problems. Like, it's like, what would I do if I had to turn myself in to the DA? Gotta circle the wagons.
How you gotta circle the wagons? I don't have no wagons.
All right, what'd you say at
4.5? Yeah,
4.5. Yeah.
XOXO. I'm gonna give this Joker a 4.678 because this was probably my favorite episode in a lot of episodes.
Oh, nice. Yeah.
I want Dan and Blair. They, for some reason, they fit to me. Maybe because they're both brunettes, and I have a thing against blondes.
Yes, the flesh-colored hair characters on this, I feel like I was always automatically turned against.
Yeah. So I'm enjoying that. I'm enjoying the Russell Thorpe being out of here, but Raina possibly sticking around. I'm enjoying the fact that Ben might be out of here. I like that resolve. I'm only knocking it. I almost gave this a 5 because there was a lot of different humdingers in it. Yeah. But the one thing I didn't like was Damien gave Russell the papers. Like he tipped him off. So when did the mom come into play? Yeah,
it seemed like they ran out of like Damien. They can't pay. They were like, we can't afford Damien.
He's already been in 6 episodes this season. We would have to pay him series regular money if we get him in one more episode.
Let's just get this lady Cynthia to play lady. Let's get this lady to play Cynthia.
I
mean, I was just thinking. I wonder if they're making a decision to. I truly don't remember, and I don't want to spoil anything. But I'm just going off what I've seen so far. It feels like they're getting rid of Vanessa and like bringing in Raina. Like she might be taking her spot or something. It feels like the stories that would go to Vanessa are going to Raina now.
Yeah, especially if she's gonna be dating Nate.
Yeah, yeah. I'm really interested. I'm really curious if that's if that's true. Then that's really fascinating. Okay.
And I think it's probably gonna be Raina joining the cast, and it's gonna be they've gotten over the fact that Raina's now liking Nate, so Chuck ain't gonna be an issue.
Chuck has moved on. He needs Blair now.
He needs Blair.
Raina, I need
Blair. But Blair and Dan should definitely be in a bag, and I want them to be in a bag.
I like that much better.
I like them much better, and that's gonna present a whole new drama because I feel like since we coming up on the end of this season, I think there's probably 4 more episodes of this season. It's gonna be big drama up until then, and then it's gonna be the summer of Dan and Blair that we don't see, and then either they're gonna be together or broken up at the beginning of the new year.
Oh man, I can't wait. This is getting good.
It's getting good. It's finally we at that part. We at that crux where it's like the episodes are getting good, and this one I like it. So because I hate it for 10 episodes in between.
Yeah, Jamie, you came in at a good time. It's like we were getting depressed, and then we're like, all right, well, we're back in.
I'm so glad.
And we're back.
We gotta retain viewers. How many seasons are there total of this show?
I think it's 6. So we still got 2.
So this is like
we still got 47 more episodes of this show to watch.
We're not gonna make it. Okay, so
that 4.678. So that's XOXO.
All right. You know what time it is? It's time for the news, and we got lots of news today. I'm Lamar Woods, and here we go. All right. Work report comes out about the Pentagon, says that the Pentagon has a toxic work environment. So my question is, who from our show could go in there, get hired, and fix things up? Fix up the Pentagon environment.
The captain.
Yeah, he can shape them up. Anyway. Do you understand what's happening?
I think so.
This is part of the show where I do the news.
No, this is good. I get it.
Okay. I think I would like to see Dan go work at the Pentagon. I think he would help out a lot.
Dan too soft for Pentagon.
Honestly,
I think he would fit in.
You think?
You
so?
think he would be toxic with everyone?
No,
He would be.
Yeah, I think
he
he
would
would blend into the I feel like Dan is so, I don't know. He's so he's not like passive necessarily, but I don't know.
I know what you mean. He's like he knows how to follow. He knows how to follow the structures of institutions.
Yeah.
And then also I think Ben. This would be a good job for Ben.
Yeah, let Ben go work at the Pentagon.
Okay.
And threaten people.
UPS is going on strike, or might go on strike. Along with, we're still on strike. The writers are still on strike. SAG might go on strike. Everybody's on strike. So I need to know from our show, who do we want to help negotiate the UPS strike?
Lily Vander Woodson.
I think Russell Thorpe would be good.
I was going to say
Thorpe?
Russell, yeah. Because Russell can make a deal and then go to Chicago. He's in and out.
I gotta go to Chicago. I feel like people always have to go to Chicago. No one's ever in Chicago. They're like, I gotta get back to Chicago.
Russell's wealth
Easiest
to
way
me.
to write out a character.
Yeah.
Russell's wealth to me feels self-made. I think that main reason of that is because he's a black dude, and I'm assuming that his father and lineage was not come from money. But
his father was like a blues musician in Chicago, in the Delta, from the Delta.
Big Russell Thorpe.
Yeah, big old. You remember Big Russell Thorpe?
His grandma's name was Big Mama Thorpe.
Big Mama. Big Mama Thorpe.
Yeah.
Okay. Shannon Sharp is leaving the Fox, so we need someone to take his spot on the Fox Sports. Shannon Sharp and do the sports news. Who could that be?
I think it should be me.
Yeah? Because you're a gossip girl, aren't you?
Yeah.
Aren't you? Well, that's the news, ladies and gentlemen. And Royalty, I love you so much. Stay tuned because the news is updating itself every day.
Every day there's new news. Jamie Loftus, let the people know where they can find you and what they should be looking out for.
Oh, yeah. You can find me on Twitter and Instagram still. So you can find me over there at Jamie Loftus Help or Jamie Christ Superstar. And then I just released a book called Raw Dog. It's about hot dogs. If you ever want to read 320 pages about hot dogs, there's a place you can do that. And it's called Raw Dog.
Let me ask you this about hot dog. You a big hot dog connoisseur?
Oh, yeah.
Okay. I mean, you wrote a book about it, so clearly. But what is your ideal hot dog? Can I explain mine to you before you tell me yours?
Please, yes. And then remind me where you grew up so I can have some context.
Okay. I was born in Mississippi. I moved to LA when I was 8 years old.
Okay.
So, but I went back home every year. And the first thing I ever learned how to cook was hot dogs. And, learn how to boil water and then put the hot dogs in there from the pack. The Oscar Mayers or the Bar M's or whatever.
Bar S, yeah.
Yeah, Bar S, not Bar M.
Yeah.
But yeah, so those, my grandma would buy those. I would eat them all the time. Eat them with a piece of white bread, Sunbeam, and ketchup and mayonnaise. I didn't like mustard when I was a kid. It's too sour.
Same.
But that was my topping. It was ketchup. I used to even cut them in half and make hot dog sandwiches. Like my grandma would pack me that when I would go on field trips for lunch, and it would be so messy by the time I opened it up, and the kids would laugh at me, and I got embarrassed. And it hurt my grandma's feelings one time because I was like, I don't want wiener sandwiches no more for my field trip. She's like, but you love wiener sandwiches. But it was because the kids laughed at me.
Yeah.
Best hot dog I ever had is gonna sound crazy. There is a bar in Long Beach, California called Cowboy Country that I used to frequent because I'm a cowboy, baby. And there was a man who sold hot dogs outside. They were real simple, but what he would do, the buns stayed steamed, and so they were like hot and moist. And
that's so good.
Yeah, and I would just get ketchup, mustard, mayo, and jalapenos. And the bun was so good, and the hot dog was crispy at a snap. And that's still it's just the best hot dog I've ever eaten in my life.
That sounds like a great hot dog. Yeah, I grew up on boiled hot dogs as well, and we didn't do anything to the bread. We didn't toast it or anything like that. So I had like similar messy situations where it was like you're like holding a lot of gluten in your hand that like used to be bread.
Yeah.
So now but then I feel like in LA that they're like from a very young age, most people from LA like know that they should be grilling their hot dogs versus boiling them. It doesn't seem like boiled hot dog country. And like I grew up in New England and we would boil them as well. But yeah, I like a split and grilled hot dog because then you have kind of a double snap, and then you can also get some condiments like in the hot dog. I didn't do mustard when I was a kid, but I always do ketchup, relish, mustard. I can do some onions. I like a steamed bun, but I prefer it toasted because then I feel like you can like top it as much as you want and you have the infrastructure for more stuff. I do like mayo on a hot dog. I never did it when I was growing up, but like mayo, or also if your bun is toasted, cream cheese on a hot dog.
Like what style is that? Where do they do? Is that
Seattle?
Yeah. I'll be up there in about a month.
It's like a reconstructed bagel. It's really good.
Yeah. All right. Well, go buy that book, folks. If y'all want to get in on this hot dog conversation, go buy that damn book. Thank you so much for joining us, Jamie. This was true pleasure to have you here.
Thanks for having me.
Glad that you got to be on this really cool episode. We done been here for a long time. Enjoy the Korean hot dog spot tonight, Kim Jong Grillin'. Are you doing shows in Portland that you promoting or anything?
Yeah. I'm doing shows in Portland. I'm doing a big book release show, so it's all hot dog themed on the 11th. And there's also live stream tickets to that show. So if you want to see a show of me pretending that I was married to champion hot dog eater Joey Chestnut, that's the show. He has not sent me a cease and desist, and he recently followed me back on Instagram. So I feel like it's a tacit endorsement of me pretending to be his wife.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. That's awesome. Oh, wow. Thank y'all so much for listening. It's been another great episode. Stick with us, y'all. We love you, Gossip Royalty. We'll see you next time. Bye.
That was a Headgum podcast.